Hey everyone, it's Sophie from Build Your Jungle, and today we are going to be looking at how to extend 3 different types of moss pole. So these are 3 of the most common types of moss poles used at the moment. We've got one of those coco coir types, we've got a 3D printed plastic cage type, and we have my personal favourite, the D-shaped translucent ones. And it's funny because when it's like this, it makes it look like that's going to be the pole, but it's wrapped up the opposite way to what it's going to be. It's actually quite tall. We'll get to that. And I've got my Soil Ninja Live Sphagnum Moss, which is what is in all my poles already, so it's what I'm going to be putting in the extended one. So let's just hop right into it, shall we? This is my Philodendron Rubijuvenile El Choco Red. We know her, she was in my last video, we've had her for a while, and she is on the Soil Ninja Moss pole, which, to be honest, has come a little bit uprooted. I think I dropped it. On the top they have a screw thread to make it really easy just to screw it in. So these ones on the top, they have a little kind of lid thing that you put on, and the very bottom one, which was the base kit one that I got, that's got like a spike, like a pointed thing that sticks in the soil. And with this type of pole, this is like the only type of pole that I like to attach before I put the moss on. And you can just twist it. Do the twist. Everybody twist again. And there we go, that's nicely attached. Now I'll just put the lid to the side. With this one, I think it's best to just shove it all in through the top and then use the sides to kind of tuck in any extra bits that you need. And hey presto, there you go. Hey presto, presto, why are you oh my god, oh my gosh. And because I've just extended it and I've made it heavier and I need to repot it, I'm just gonna add a little bit of Monstera and Philodendron blend around it so I can kind of trap the pole in there. And there we go. And I will spray it in a moment and put the little B-roll on the screen. Obviously, these are quite easy to extend. They're not the easiest. They're the second easiest, I think, to put on. But I think they're also my second favourite type of pole, because I do like this pole. I like the sturdiness and I think they look nice. I think some of the cons are it's a little bit expensive, more pricey, especially if you've got a lot of philodendron. And also it dries out a bit faster than the D-shaped ones. Now we're going to do one of my favourite type of poles, which for some reason, unknown to man, has an Allen key inside it, which must be what they think you can use to do something with it. But I'm not using that, nope. Or it was just an Allen key from my house, we will never know. So here we have Anthurium polyschistum, a beautiful climbing Anthurium, and as you might know, if you saw my last video, she's, oh my gosh, that new leaf's so nice. She is desperate for a pole. Look at that, it's like, where is my moss? So we'll pop this out and we're gonna do a little extension. This is my first time actually extending one of these, but I know we're gonna do it. This first thing I'm gonna do here, this is optional. I am gonna cut this off because this node really needs something to root into, and I can just tell that it's not gonna work unless it has something here. So I need to keep the holes, and it's gonna make it so much more annoying to do, but we'll just do it. We'll do it. We can do this. We got this. I just had like a eureka moment when I realised I only needed to cut the front bit off and not the back bit, so the back bit can still support the next pole. Now, we want to make up one of these poles. One of these poles. See, with these poles, they come with multiple ones of them wrapped in plastic, and that made my brain think that's the only plastic last time, but it's not, because the poles themselves have a plastic. I should have realised. Give me this pole, please. Oh, it's like a scroll. The sacred scroll of plants. Right. In fact, I bought these from a different place, and I'm like, do I look silly because this time it doesn't have plastic on? Or is it all a trick? You may have seen me do this before in moss pole and potting videos. It's a bit annoying to do this bit. This is the con of this one. They break if you are not gentle with the grid bit, and they flick up in your face like that when you're trying to, like I've bent that in the wrong place. And it drives me a bit cuckoo bananas. Oh! I will not be bested by a piece of plastic. We're halfway there. Got there in the end. Right, now we need to fill this bad boy up with moss. Yeah, I think even though they designed for this to go at the bottom, I like it to help me with my extensions. Yeah. Oh my gosh, children screaming. Nice. That was the hard part. Oh my god, it's very, very, very heavy from the top. Oh, it's standing. She stands. I have a very not useful one zip tie. And then I've got some garden wire, and I guess that will do. I found a new friend, and his name is Big Dick Bamboo Stick. Keep this pole not leaning forwards. I think Mr. Bamboo Stick is doing the job. With these plastic ones, the main pro for me is that they don't have to be moistened as much, and they retain the moisture for longer, which is something that's very preferable when you've got like so many climbing plants like me, because I don't want to have to be spraying it every day. The con, I would say, is that, as you just saw, it can take a bit of a while. It can be a bit of a challenge to do the extension, but we've done it. Then we have the ones that everyone's probably familiar with, and it's those coco coir kind of textured pole stake things that come in a lot of the plants from nurseries. Here's my medium silver, looking fabulous. So these these poles I'm not usually a fan of, because I don't feel that the plant can usually root into them as well as something like sphagnum moss. It's very condensed, compact, and usually you find these poles with pothos and stuff that have just been wrapped around and around to make it look like this big tall full plant, but really the pole hasn't done anything for them. However, with this plant, I thought maybe just a medium isn't such a picky plant with what it climbs. These are different colours, as you can see, because this is the one that the plant came on, and this is one of two that I got off Amazon. I haven't seen the bottom of that pole. Oh wait, no, I did. The bottom of that pole was like a plastic cylinder. These are wooden little stakey ones, and the idea is that when you want to extend them, they can just slot into the hole above. What's hilarious though is I was going to do this on camera, and I wanted to double check that it would fit, and it just kind of stuck halfway down in it, and I was like, you know what will sort this bad boy out? A hammer. So I hammered it in a bit, really crippling myself in the process. And it kind of made me feel like the completionist in me. It just had to see if it could truly go all the way down. And of course, once it had gone all the way down, it's like I'm lifting the whole thing up just by this. It's a be stuck. But one thing that's the bonus about that is I think that me doing that was a bit more of a secure thing. I maybe shouldn't have done that. I hope I didn't damage the roots, because I'm going to show you what I consider to be the most major downside of this type of pole with the part 2 of the same one of that. Do you wonder what the downside of that might be? It's just going to come off. It's just going to come off. Like, I'm going to probably glue that in or something when I do it. So the main, obviously I'm not leaving both these on right now. That was all it needed. But the main con of this type of pole, right, it can't attach to it properly, usually, with most plants. Won't do much to help your philodendron size up. But also, they can fall out. Like, imagine trying to repot something that was on, like, 5 times extended thing of these, and it'd all be like going like this and like snapping your plant and stuff. So maybe a tip, which seems silly to give because it's a tip I've not tried yet, is to glue them, glue it in. So anyway, that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys found this helpful and interesting, watching how 3 different types of moss poles are extended. Let me know in the comments down below, what is your favourite type of moss pole to use? I am curious. At the moment, I post long form content on Friday, so please hit that button, subscribe to be notified when I next make a video. And I also post every day on TikTok. There's all kinds of funky business on there, so do check that out. And I hope you're having a great day thinking about house plants.